Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. This is Moltrap, and doing another game here for you today. I hope that my roommates aren't home right now. I was gonna do more commentaries in the computer lab earlier, and then this guy came in, and I didn't want to start yelling in the computer lab with this other guy in the computer lab, so that stopped that. But anyways, I'm back at home. Well, kind of home now, the place where I'm staying, and I think everyone's gone, but I'm not sure. So hopefully, if I start yelling and screaming at my computer here, the one guy that I'm not sure if he's here or not won't actually be here. And yeah, his car's here, but there's no other signs of him being here, so I'm not sure. Anyway, this is actually a match from the Pro League. This is game 2 of, as you can see if you recognize the colors of the uniforms, WeMade Fox versus KTF. The KTF Magicians, or Magicians, as some people call them. And this is Mind versus a guy called Stats. And Stats is a Protoss player. I guess KTF is trying to test out their new little Protoss. Stats, I think everyone, including myself, is expecting him to just get completely stomped on here, since Mind is very, very good TVP, and Stats is just a new player, and he's, well, I mean, obviously, I guess since he's new, we don't know how good he is, but yeah, he's a diamond in the rough or something like that, but probably not. He just failed pretty badly out of the MSL prelims, so I'm not expecting him to put up too much of a fight here, but you never know. I mean, sometimes even, well, spoiler alert, I guess, if you haven't seen the matches between SKT1 and whoever it is that they played the other day that Colorado did the commentaries on. So plug your ears for 10 seconds if you don't want to hear a random Pro League spoiler. Okay? Taza, random guy, random Protoss, somehow managed to beat Bisu, so, you know, anything can happen. Okay. Anyway, moving on. So this guy could theoretically have a chance. You never know. He's jumping his screen around a little bit. That's kind of weird that he's doing that. He's moving his screen up and down. I wonder if he's doing like up and down on his keyboard. Usually when you see players spamming, they don't do that. Their screen stays pretty stable, or they're switching to their Overlord and back or something like that sometimes. Anyway, wow, a lot of probes going on here. No gateway. We're going to see a 14 next, ladies and gentlemen, and we might see a 12cc also. Wow, both players seem to be... Nope, never mind, there's barracks. Okay, so that's not... for a second I thought Mind was holding off on building his barracks, but turned out he was just going for 12 barracks. If you wait till 12, you can get your barracks and your refinery at the exact same time. Gets your factory out a little bit quicker. I think. I'm not sure. I've never really bothered to go and look at like exactly the timings or whatever if it gets your factory out quicker or not. But I know it does give you a little bit more minerals in the bank because you've got those SCVs that were going to be building the barracks and the refinery. Got them mining a little bit longer, although I guess it's just the one that was building the barracks, so you get a little bit more minerals out of it. And this kind of a game, every little bit can count. So, anyways, we got Stats going for 14 Nexus here. Not terribly surprising on a 4-player map against a player who he's got to know as well as I is better than him. Yeah, see, the barracks gets up and you get the factory up right after the barracks with that build. But yeah, usually when you're the inferior player, you're going to try and do something. Well, that's often when you see cheese, for instance. But you go for something risky and hope it pays off, because that's the way. I mean, if you don't think you're going to get an advantage from playing standard, then you try to get an advantage doing something a little bit risky. And you know, I say that, but at the same time, we've seen tons of very strong players go for 14 Nexus builds. It's just a risk. I mean, everything you do is a risk. You can try and rush and worry about getting stopped, or you can try and go for an econ game and worry about getting rushed. You know, it's all back and forth. There's always risks involved. But in this case, Mind is going to scout Stats very late, so it might just pay off. It depends on, and the other thing is, well, it's going to pay off actually because Mind went for the quick factory into Command Center. He took his SCVs off gas to get minerals in the bank as quickly as possible to get that early Command Center, and so he is not going to have any kind of forces really to attack Stats very soon, and Stats is going to have a couple goons coming out here in just a minute and a zealot. So even if Mine decided to send a vulture or something, quick vultures, even though he's built the machine shop, so that's not going to happen. But well, I mean, he may make vultures anyways, but he's probably going to more likely build a tank since he bothered to get the machine shop, unless he's planning on getting. Well, I mean. Yeah, no, usually you get the tank first, and then you can move out with the tank, and the vultures are fast enough to follow and catch up to the tank in the midst of an attack. So, yeah, he's probably researching mines right now. Just going to go for the kind of standard FD push. Yeah, Stats is pretty much in the dark, though. He knows that Mine didn't plant a command center at his expansion, but, you know, they don't always... Oh, wait! Oh, Mine coming back! Snipes off that probe. Again, that probe is going to see that there's no expansion there, though. But again, Stats knows as well as we do that Mind could be having his command center building in the background there, which is exactly what he's doing there. So yeah, and Mind looks like he was going to try and get another SCV scout in there, but he sees those goons lined up to tear it apart and just decides to fall back. So. Stats getting a very early economic advantage here, but luckily for Mind, I guess, he's not too far behind. So I think he'll be all right. The Protoss is usually ahead of the Terran anyway, so I think he'll be fine. You know, this is a really interesting map. I forgot the name of it. I'm sorry, this is one of the new maps. I should have checked to see what the name... Let me see if I can find out what the name of this is while I ramble in the background. But, yeah, this is a very interesting map. We've seen some good games on it. I really kind of like this little place there that we just saw, where you can see that you can put your barracks down and stop off the... close off that gap, basically. I haven't seen that used... offensively yet, like people putting a pylon there or something. Sometimes people will they'll float their barracks over and then plant it down in the enemy gap, though, and that will you know, sometimes aggravate them. But I haven't seen it being used too interestingly yet, and I'm hoping that we see some more interesting use of that, because that's kind of a cool map feature there. And of course, I've just looked up. This is New Harmony. This is the map, but of course, now I've forgotten the name of the map that also had that little gap like that. Was that Longinus? I don't remember which one, what the name was that has that little... Anyway. Getting back to the game, though. Wow, so we got a Templar Archives and Templar Archives going on and a Stargate. So it looks like Stats is going to try and go for some kind of a crazy Arbiter rush. Which is very interesting. Sorry, I got distracted there. Cholera just messaged me to see if I wanted to duel something. So I have to type back to him. Okay. Anyway, moving on. Sorry, I keep getting distracted a lot. Okay, I'm just gonna focus. I'm gonna focus here. Not gonna get distracted anymore. Alright, so Mind is definitely caught back up economically here. I haven't gotten a good impression of what kind of an army he has. We've seen a lot of vultures running around, but Stats has a really nice base setup as far as stopping any vultures from getting in and harassing him. And I'm really worried about Mind here. I don't think he has ComStat or anything like that. He's not going to know this is coming at all. Stats, on the other hand, is going to be able to... Oh, never mind. That nice positioning of those turrets. Did you see that? Those turrets were perfectly positioned that the observer could barely not fit through them, and the observer just got completely destroyed on the way out there. But yeah, it looks like Mind is just... he's been getting his infrastructure going, and he's not macroing up yet. But he does have an academy down, so he's going to be able to get a ComStat off before too long. But in the meantime, the Arbiter is already building. The Arbiters take a darn long time to build, so Mind will still theoretically have some time to figure this out and do something and respond to it. I'm wondering what exactly he's doing. It could be that he's just trying to go for quick Arbiters. Oh! Two Vultures get in! The Vultures get in! They're gonna see the Arbiter Tribunal. They're gonna attack some probes as well. Wow! I can't believe that happened. His shuttle is out as well for just Zealot bombs and what have you. That was absolutely... I can't believe Stats had those Dragoons in position for the whole entire game. He didn't move them the whole time. And then the one moment he moves his Dragoons out of position, Mine somehow rushes those vultures in, and somehow both of them survive.